What's going on, everyone? Thank you for stopping by. Hope you enjoy this video. What I got in this video today is a review of smart wireless meat probe from Armeator. I'm gonna check it out. They sent it to me, asked if I could review it on my channel, so I'm gonna give you my honest review on it. So let's see if it works. Here's the smart wireless meat probe. It also says that it's water resistant. Download the app from your Google Play or your Apple App Store. Device wireless range. It'll go from probe to dock. 229 feet unobstructed, and then dock to phone. 229 feet. It's a rechargeable lithium battery. Working time over 72 hours. Bluetooth. Alright, let's open it up. Here's your user manual. That's what it is right there. See, he has to unlock and lock. There it is, the probe. Now, this end part right here, it is ceramic, so it could withstand up to, I believe it's 950 degrees. So, you know, that's pretty hot, huh? Yeah, let's download the app and let's get it connected. Alright, let's hit the install button. Alright, so there it is. That's how the app will look when you set it up in the beginning process. Alright, so let's put the probe right there. See, add device. Alright, so this dock right here, it has to also be on. So there's a button right there. See the flashing lights? So hit add, connecting. Alright, so it says 100%. So it's disconnected. Move the Armeator closer to the probe. Alright, so I don't know what was that about. Disconnected. I mean, they're right next to each other. Alright, so let's go hit the start. Let's go with some beef. Well done. Let's hit it at, let's just go for 200 for right now. And then we'll go from there and see if we're able to adjust the time during the cook, or you know, we'll go through this process together. But let's hit. Let me put the probe into the meat, and then I'll hit start cook, and we'll go from there. All right, before I stick the meat probe in my meat, I want to show you that there is a safety line on the probe. I don't know, it might be a little hard, but it's right there. So from where my fingernail to the end of the tip, that's the length that you could stick your probe into the meat. The rest of it from there on out to the end of the ceramic has to be sticking out of the meat. So it'll show you more right there. So just something to think about whenever you're using it. There's a cutoff to where how much of the probe you can stick into your meat. All right, so here is a point. So I'm gonna get it. See, so it's about right there. So that's the length I can get it. So let me see. About right there. All right, so just like that. And then now start cook. All right, so it's just giving you where to stick the probe in. Continue 1 to 10 feet away from the probe. Alright, so I had to hit the button again because it Alright, I actually had to clean off the meat probe and stick it back into the dock and then take it out, stuck it back in, and then press the power button for the dock. So now it's working, so you can see it. Lights are blinking, so I don't know, maybe it just was out for too long, I don't know, but let's see. Your device is powered on. Alright, well, I don't know, it kept on telling me that the device was off for me to power it on, but there's no buttons or anything to power it on. It's supposed to power on once you take it out of the dock. But I kept fooling with it, kept telling me the device needed to be powered on, but then I removed it, cleaned the probe again, stuck it back into its dock, and then I exited out of the app, did it all over again, kept on telling me the same thing, the device turned on, I kept on hitting to continue to finally it just got to this. So yeah, so you can see here's a graph right there. It's going to tell you the internal temp of your meat, your beef, the number you set. So let's get it on and see what happens. Alright, so there it is. Point, probe. Alright, sitting at 47, so let's see how well you do. I'm not going to open this up back again until another 4 hours. I'll bring it back. Alright, bring you back after, I don't know, a minute or two. But you can see it's telling me that it disconnected. It says move the Armeator charger close to the probe. So I have right there the dock, and then there's the Bronco. So yeah, it says from 1 to 10 feet to keep it away from the probe. So let's hit OK. Current temp, nothing. So this is on. Let me bring it right here. See if that'll work. Yeah. So well, we'll see how if it disconnects from right there, but I guess even from right there to there, it was too far away a distance from it. But it says 1 to 10 feet that to keep it away, so you know that's because of the heat and all that. But I mean, it's in the Bronco, so yeah, so we'll continue on. All right, after an hour, this is what it is so far. The meat probe sitting at 113. You can tell right there. That's the time right there, 1 hour, 1 minute. Then when you click on it, that's gonna show you the graph right there. So it says cooking information. Click the arrow, takes you back. Click on it, like that. So an hour in, sitting at 113. So I haven't disconnected nothing since the dock's been right here next to the Bronco. So far so good since putting on the point. So let's continue on. 4 hours in and sitting at 157. So I've really haven't had an issue. It's been going pretty good. So hopefully it continues on and see how long it'll keep going. But yeah, you know, had some hiccups in the very beginning, but now it seems like it's rolling now. So see if it continue on. It's just a little over 4 hours and it did disconnect. You see the phone and the dock, they're connected. We have Bluetooth, but the dock to the probe is not. That's why it's in red. So probe is still there, and you got that. So connect. Okay. It should have connected already. Yeah, they're still flashing. It doesn't want to connect again. Which at the very beginning when it did disconnect, I just hit OK, and I don't know, maybe 5-10 seconds it, you know, reconnected. Yeah, let me figure it out and I'll bring it back. Alright, I've been still fooling with it, and I exited the app and got back onto the app, and then the phone and the dock reconnected, but then this pop-up right here popped up again saying that it's been disconnected between the dock and the probe. So I'm gonna hit OK and let's see if it connects. And like I mentioned before, times that I did disconnect, what I just did right now, if you saw, it was able to reconnect with between the probe and the dock. But as you see right now, it's not wanting to. So I wonder if I may have to remove the probe from the meat, place it back into the dock, and then remove the probe again and stick it back in and do the process over again. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and see if that'll work. Okay, before I remove the probe from the meat and stick it back on the dock, what I did, I just pressed the button at the bottom that says stop monitoring. So that means that it stopped monitoring the probe and the meat. So I'm gonna start the whole process again. We'll start, go beef. All right, well done. Start cook. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna go, so I'm gonna go ahead and just remove it, the probe from the meat, and stick it back in the dock and do the whole process over again. All right, whenever I pulled it out, you can tell, see how the ceramic is, it was dirty. Well, it was all, not all dark black, but it was covered, you know, because of the smoke hitting it, and it got it dirty. So I cleaned it up the best I could. So I wonder if that was the case, maybe, because that, you know how at times, like especially like the pellet smokers, if the probe inside the pellet smoker gets dirty, it doesn't read the temp right, or not at all, and you have to clean it. So maybe case was this two right here. Maybe I just needed to clean it. So before I put it back in the dock, I'm just stick it back in the meat and see if that was the case. All right, so here it goes. I cleaned the ceramic part of the probe. So let's do the whole process over again. Well done. Start cook. Yeah, nothing. All right, I'm gonna put it back on the dock. All right, I removed it from the dock, and yeah, now look at, see, now it's reading the temp. I haven't stuck it in the meat yet, but putting it back in the dock, and then removing it and turning it back on from the dock, that's what did it. So let's go and get it back in there. So eventually it'll drop down. Well, the thing with this is that from what it seems like your graph. So if you either disconnect and have to do what I did, it seems like you're gonna lose the graph from the previous time that it was on and working. So you can't go back, it doesn't seem like, and look at where the temps were at and all that. So now, because it starts all over again, you see what says probe 1, and there's the time. So the time started at, it says it's 5 minutes now. So yeah, but we'll continue on. All right, y'all hear that? That's the sound indicating that I've hit yep, my temp, targeted temp at 200. So it says it's done. So that's what it says it's done. But you know, it's not done until it's probe tender. So let's check out that point. Yeah, looking good. So there's the probe right there. That's pretty good, eh? So let's just see. See, look at that. It's reading 196, 197. But that winning. I need a little bit more. Just a little. Let me give it another 30 minutes. So let's look at the app. Hit OK. Let's see. Reset target. Let's go with the beef. Go with well done. I'm gonna set it for 205. Let's go for 210. Start cook. So there it is. Got 200. My target temp's at 210 now. So let's continue on. It's at 207. I'm gonna go ahead and probe it, see what it feels like. Tell you what, it looks beautiful. Oh yeah. A lot better. Yep. Like butter. Uh-huh. $206. That's at 207. So I'm gonna pull it, man. It went in nice. So I'm gonna get to talking about this probe now. Okay, where do I begin? To start off with that, the app itself, it's easy to use. It's pretty simple. I mean, you saw in the beginning how when you first get your probe and you get it out of the dock, you have to press the button on that dock to start it, and it sends a signal for it. They both connect with each other. So in the app, when the app pops up, it'll explain what you need to do to set it up, and then you can go from each of your, beef, pork, chicken, what you're going to be cooking. You click on it, and then you can adjust the temperature of what you want it to be, and then you hit start, and then it goes from there. Shows you a graph on where your temp is rising, or if it goes down, or if it's steady. That's good, but you lose that graph if you disconnect your probe from their dock, because the way this was is that when it disconnected and it stayed disconnected, I had to remove it from the meat, put it back in the dock, and do it all over again, and then it started working again. So the first time I had it working, all that information when it came to on the graph, that's gone because you're starting over again. So that's one thing to consider. Now you can add up to multiple devices with the app and use multiple meat probes. You click on that add device and do the same process over again, and then you can use more of your meat probes. So that's a plus. Another thing too with these meat probes is that it helps without it being with it being wireless. You don't have to deal with all the wires that connect, and the meat probes in the meat, and it can withstand over 900 degrees. So you can also grill with it. So that's a plus. But I mean, it did well for the time that it stayed connected. It gave me the correct information that I needed. It didn't give me no false readings. It did not. I even checked with my handheld probe just to make sure that everything was right on it, and it came out pretty close on the temp, especially at the end. But the problem was that it disconnected, and as you saw, struggled to get it going again until finally I had to just place it back on the dock and start all over again. And I mentioned I thought maybe that the ceramic that because it does get dirty, and you'll see it'll start turning black. It's because the heat's rising from the bottom and it's hitting it. And I thought, well, maybe it's not connecting because of that, because like I mentioned before, some probes like on the pellet grills and all that if they're dirty, then they're not going to read the temps well, they're not going to function correctly. So I thought maybe that was. I cleaned it off, but nothing. So that's the thing with this, was that it lost connection. I could go inside the house, go to the kitchen, and I would lose connection and say disconnected, but then I hit OK and then it will reconnect. It did that whenever I went into the living room, same thing, and I reconnected with it and it worked and it stayed on. But you know, it disconnected on its own, so it wasn't something that I was doing to making it disconnect. So that's the thing about with this probe right here. And you know, I was happy whenever I was approached to have this on my channel to review, because you know, I've always wondered how well these work, these meat probes, not having to use wire. If you see my channel, you always see that I use wiring, you know, for the meats, for the cooking grate. So I thought it was pretty neat to just stick this in your meat and just go from there, you know, don't have to worry about all these wires. But so at the moment, I'm gonna give it another shot, because you know, they were kindly enough to send it to me. I'm gonna give it another shot and go from there. But from me and you as a viewer, you know, I would say maybe back off on this one for right now. And if I'm gonna contact them again, because they had told me that if I needed to know anything, or if I needed to reach out to them, have any issues, to reach out to them. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna email them and let them know that, you know, my video is gonna go live, and let them know what happened in the video, just to give them a heads up, and you know, and go from there and try it out some more and see what they say. Maybe they can lead me down the right path, and I can lead you down the right path when it comes to their meat probe. But all in all, I mean, the meat cooked, turned out great, so happy about that. You know, got to eat. You know, that point was delicious. So, well, I hope the next video that I do with this will be a lot better, a better outcome. But like I said, I'm gonna reach out to them and let them know what was going on. So, but if you still think that you would want it, I'll leave a link down in the description so you can purchase it. I don't get paid off anything from this, no sales or anything like that. They sent it to me for free to review it, and I'm giving you my honest thoughts on it, letting you see everything that happened as you saw in the video. You know, be straight with y'all. But if you do want it, I'll leave that link description below. But as always, folks, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. Smoke on, everyone.